All right. So, good evening, guys. I hope everybody is doing well. Um, I guess we're waiting for people to join in. As we're waiting for people to come on in, I'll introduce myself. My name is Cathal. I am a teacher from the Milan School of Meravigli. Um, and I've been teaching in Meravigli for just over 1 year now. Since about January last year, I've been teaching there. So, um, quite well. I've had quite the experience in the school so far. I've enjoyed my experience in the school, and I guess that's kind of linking into what we're going to be talking about today in today's webinar, because we're talking about experiences. I'll just finish off my introduction. I'm from Ireland. The reason why this is the reason why I have such a strange name. As you can see, the spelling of my name is really strange. Maybe you haven't seen it before. This is because it is an Irish name, a Gaelic name. Um, it's the same as Charles uh, in English, or Carlo in Italian, Carlos in Spanish. So it's the same as those. But I guess, yeah, so if you guys want to introduce yourselves, tell me where you're from, what school you're a student in, and let me know kind of what do you do, or what are you doing at the moment to keep busy at this time, because I know that at the moment it's very, very difficult to find things to do, to find, I guess, things to keep you busy or to keep you occupied while all of this stuff is going on in the world. So please let me know. I might think of a few ideas for you as well, because I've had a few things that I've been doing to keep busy. So yeah, this is our 8 o'clock webinar, and yeah, as soon as you guys come in, introduce yourselves. If not, if you're watching this later on, then just follow along and answer the questions as we go. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, keep watching the webinars as we continue. I know things are slowly getting back to normal, but nevertheless, still a good chance for you to practice your English. So today we are talking about experiences, as I said. And in this focus activity, we're talking about life experiences, where we're going to be using the present perfect and the past simple. And then, interviewing others, this is going to be very difficult with just one of me and maybe only one of you. I see one person there watching. Hello. Um, so if you are willing to get involved, then please do. It'd be fantastic if you guys can say hello and just get involved. That way, the webinar will go a lot better. Right, so I'm just going to move on to the first slide here. So we have the name of this slide is the best experience. So what is the craziest thing you've ever done? What jobs have you had? How many of these things have you done? So this is a kind of interesting one, a cool icebreaker, really. If you guys don't know what an icebreaker is a conversation topic that helps to kind of get rid of any sort of tension or awkwardness when you first meet someone. So that's what we would call an icebreaker. So what is the craziest thing you have ever done? So let me know, please, guys. Write down the comments in the comment section here below, and so I can read them out and we can talk about them. But I'll give you guys my craziest thing that I've ever done, just as an example. So I am a big fan of musicals and musical theatre. So I love watching kind of plays and going to the theatre to watch musicals. And a couple of years ago, I went to London to like just for a weekend, a couple of days with my friends to watch some shows. Because one of the shows that was on is my favorite show, which is In the Heights. And we went to the show, and we got to speak to the um, the cast. We got to speak to the people who were in the show. It was fantastic. And then after that, I got to I decided to stick around afterwards to see if there was going to be an after party. As it turns out, there was. Oh, Vanessa, hello. Hi, Christina. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Please write your answers there for the questions. As I've said, I'm just going to continue going with my story until I see your your answers. So I'm in London, and the my friend is was working in the theater that we went to see the show in. And we decided to stick around, as I said, afterwards to see if there was an after party. And it turns out there was an after party. And so um, I was waiting and waiting and waiting to see if I could get in. I went up to the door of the party, and I was trying to walk in, and the security person said, "No, no, show me your ticket." And I thought, "Oh God, I don't have my ticket." So I went back to my friends, and my friends gave me a ticket from the previous week. It was an expired ticket. It was not a legitimate ticket. So I went in and I showed the ticket very quickly and then ran in the door. And so I was in like a not Broadway, but the English equivalent of a Broadway musical after party. And so I saw lots of celebrities and famous people in there having drinks and partying, and it was just one of the craziest things ever to see and to be in there. Now I had to leave after a while because I did not want to stay there without my friends. But it was still really, really cool. I guess that's probably the craziest thing that I've ever done. So maybe Vanessa and Christina, guys, tell me what is the craziest thing that you have ever done? If you want to tell me, I mean, you don't have to, but you can invent it if you want. It would be cool to hear some stories. And what jobs have you had? So let me know what jobs have you had? Have you had some interesting jobs? I know some people generally just stay in education until they are finished and then they start their job. Not a lot of people tend to do that in Italy. I know in Ireland, a lot of people have part-time jobs when they are in their teens or when they're younger, and then they keep those jobs through college or university and until they're finished their degree. For example, my first job I think was as a barman in well not a barman, I was a like I collected glasses in a bar in my local town, and then slowly I got to be a barman after a while of learning. Um, and I guess yeah, that was kind of one of the more interesting jobs that I had. Oh, so Christina here has got an answer. The craziest thing I've done was when I moved to Italy 15 years ago. Okay. Maybe it was a crazy, in hindsight now, looking back, it was very crazy. You did a lot of crazy things in your life. Oh, okay. Mysterious character here, Christina. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So if you want to let us know, you can tell us any of those crazy things. So one thing about your answer there, Christina, is you've got the right idea. The craziest thing I have ever done was, so you'd say, the craziest thing I have ever done was moving to Italy. So I know what you mean, like when I moved to Italy because it's in the past. But we would say the craziest thing I've ever done was move to Italy, maybe you could say, in the present simple. Okay, but very good answer. Oh, wow. 3 years ago, Vanessa, Did the angel fly in Basilicata? Wow. Okay. What is the angel fly in Basilicata? Please tell me. It sounds very interesting. Sounds like something that involves like high places, if I'm not mistaken. But again, so remember, 3 years ago, I did. So I did in the past because we use the present perfect for when you do not have a specific time. When you have a specific time, like 3 years ago, I did. Okay, it's similar to the picture. Oh wow! Oh god, this picture here. Oh my god, you did this? That's crazy! Wow, you must be a very adventurous person, Vanessa. That's really cool. Very, very cool. I mean, I don't mind heights. I kind of I like the idea of doing these sort of things, but I never have the opportunity to do them. Um, I'm always either working or just chilling out at home. I guess I should probably try to do it better. But that sounds really cool. Wow. But yeah, Christina, no, you were right the first time, Christina. I did a lot of crazy things, or even I have done a lot of crazy things in my life. All right, this is great. This is great. So tell me, yeah, about your job positions as well, guys. Tell me what jobs have you had? Anything interesting? Anything strange? So, like I said, I was a barman. I was a barman in a bar in Ireland, in my local town. And after I was a barman, I got a job in an international school in Dublin, which I worked in mainly during the summer time. It was mainly a summer job. And then after that, it became a full-time job when I started teaching. So I went from being an activity leader to a teacher in the school. Um, and so that was an interesting transition. But now, obviously, I'm a teacher in the Meravigli School in Milan, which is my current job that I have. Okay, so Vanessa here's not very interesting. I'm an accountant. I mean, but an accountant that does angel flying in Basilicata, like that's like badass. That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, people would be surprised, I imagine, if you are all like about to jump off the mountain and and then they're like, oh, okay, hey bro, what do you do? Like, oh, I'm a skier or I'm a professional athlete. And then they turn to Vanessa and Vanessa says, I'm an accountant, and then jumps. That'd be cool. All right. So let's see, guys, how many of these things have you done? So from this list, um, how many make a snowman, write a book, ride a horse, take a picture underwater, donate blood. Okay, interesting. Okay, Christina here. I made many. Okay, so snow men. So you can say in the plural, snowmen. One snowman, many snowmen. When I was a child, because I'm originally from a country where the winter is very cold and snowy. Oh, what country are you from originally, Christina? I'm imagining like either, well, with a name like Lavrinenko, I'm imagining some sort of Eastern European country, maybe. If I'm wrong, maybe I am wrong. I'm sorry if I am wrong. Um, but yeah, tell us, guys, if you have done any of these things. So I, like Christina, I have made snowmen. Uh, I made a snowman when I was very young because it does not snow very often in Ireland, and so it's very difficult to make snowmen because the snow is usually it's very like a small amount, and it does not stay for a long time. Um, okay, right, Vanessa, fantastic. Okay, so remember, I made a snowman. So if you want to say in your whole life, I have made a snowman. Okay, and I have ridden a horse. So when we are talking about this, guys, this particular question is saying, have you done? How many of these things have you done? So when we're using the present perfect, like in this example, we use the present perfect in the answer as well. Okay. Oh, from Moldova. Nice. Small country between Romania and the Ukraine. Wow. Nice. So I did not know that it snowed a lot in Moldova. Very interesting. Okay. That's really cool. And so you moved to Italy 14 years ago as your crazy thing to do. So one thing to remember, guys, yeah, as I was saying, when we're talking about our experiences, so this is what we're all about here, experiences, right? Experiences is when we use the present perfect, okay? Because experiences in my whole life. Okay, so we are not being specific. It is not a specific thing. So in order to use the past simple, we need to have some sort of specific time, right? So we need to say last year, right? Or as Vanessa said earlier, 3 years ago, I did the angel fly in Basilicata. All right, so that's a specific moment in the past, and that's why we use the past simple for that. Whereas we use present perfect for experience, something that is not time specific, just something that happened in your whole life from start to finish, or well, start to now, because obviously your life is not finished. Right? So we could say in this example, I have made a snowman. I have ridden a horse. I have taken a picture underwater. I have donated blood. I have written a book. This is how we answer, okay? And then if you want to be specific of when, so I made a snowman last year, or I used to make snowmen in my home country in Moldova. You could say that, Christina. I have ridden a horse. I rode, so past tense, ride in the present changes to rode is the past. Okay. I rode a horse. So I actually, yeah, I remember I rode a horse when I was 12 years old, I think. It was in, I think, a family holiday in Ireland, and everyone was doing it. So it was kind of a family activity to do. And yeah, so all of these activities, I have done all of them except donate blood. Um, because I'm very unhealthy, and so I imagine my blood is not good for anyone. It would be a bad idea if I donated blood to someone, because they would receive a lot more alcohol, I think, than blood, maybe. There you go. Very good, Vanessa. Yeah, I rode a horse last week. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because last week is the specific time that you did it. And so because we know the specific time, you can say the past simple. Very good. So yeah, just be careful of the article. We'd say a horse. So I know in England, some of the pronunciation, they don't pronounce H's. So they say, uh, can I have, so instead of saying I rode a horse, they say I rode an horse. This is the way that they would say it. It's kind of a strange pronunciation, I know. So you can choose which one you want to do, but just be careful to remember that the people that you're speaking to are not always going to be English speakers who will understand you. So it's probably better to say, I rode a horse. Oh, Christina. Oh my God, Christina's sharing here. Fantastic. I've never written a book, but I've written many romantic letters. But it is a long story in the past. The gossip. I love it. I love it. The romantic letters. I can imagine them now. Hello, my dear. I'm here in Milan. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's cool. That's really nice. And so the romantic letters, I imagine you're sending to some sort of partner or a loved one. I'm assuming. That's really nice. That's so cool. Not a lot of people write letters anymore. It's kind of one of those things that's going out of style. More times they're just writing text messages and emails, which is not as nice. I think a nice written letter is really cool. A nice gesture, to send to someone. Really nice, guys. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I see we have some more people here. So not just Christina and Vanessa. We have 6 people watching now. So guys, please say hello. Don't worry. Don't be shy. So please get involved so that we can interact and we can have a conversation, and I can give you guys some tips, some help with your English. All right. So the best experience. So guys, before we move on, if anyone has any questions, please write down into the chat, and hopefully I can answer. Maybe if you want to write an example of a sentence for me to check if it's okay, please do that. All right. Okay, sorry, I have to drink some water. Okay. Oh, Sarah, sorry. Sarah, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. So if you want to answer some of the questions, Sarah, you're welcome to answer. So tell us, what jobs have you had in the past? What is the craziest thing you have ever done in your life? Let us know. Keep us informed, and we'll move on to the next slide. All right. So now, guys, we have to match up some of these pieces of vocabulary to each other. So we have to match up to create a proper sentence. So we have, I have taken up, I have seen the, I've been to, I have met, I've worked at, I've played, I have always loved. And then we have the other parts of the sentence, sentences on the other side. So in the ocean, a new hobby, 6 continents, Eiffel Tower, the guitar for 5 years, 3 different companies, and a famous person. So, oh, Christina, with a happy end. Oh, lovely. Oh, nice. So the romantic letters, they worked. Oh, they worked. Okay, maybe I should try writing some romantic letters then. I should try to do this too. It's probably a good idea to try that. So talking about the past. So here, guys, is, as it says here, it's a short autobiography. So does anyone know what an autobiography is? If you do, type it in. So autobiography is a little bit different to a biography. So biography is a story about someone's life, okay? And it's written by a different person, not the person who's the story is about. An autobiography is a story of someone's life written by that person. So if I wrote a story about my life, it would be an autobiography. But if I wrote a story about Christina's life, for example, if I wrote a story about Christina's life, then it would be a biography, because I did not have the first person engagement with the experiences. So a good question there, Vanessa. Taken up. So to take up something, to take up, it's very similar to pick up. Okay, and to take up or to pick up are two phrasal verbs that we use in English to say to start a new activity, all right? To start a new hobby or something like that. To start a new hobby or activity. So the two of them are used pretty much in the same way. Okay, so Christina here has given us the answer to number one. I have taken up, as we said, a new hobby. Very good. I have seen the uh, Eiffel Tower. Very good. Yeah. This is loading. Oh, it is. Yes. Okay, there we go. I have been to. What do we think number three is? I have been to. I have met, I've worked at, I've played, I have always loved. So interesting ones to come up with, guys. So yeah, one important thing, guys, to remember, particularly when we're using the present perfect, is the use of been. Okay, as we know, the verb to go has two different past participles. So we say to go, went, and then the past participle is either been or gone. So very good. Yes, I have been to 6 continents. Right. Right. I have been to 6 continents. Okay. So the difference, guys, the difference between been and gone is that been is for when you went somewhere and you returned. Okay, so been is went and returned. Gone is went and have not returned. Okay. So we have, we some answers here for the next few as well. Very good. Thanks, guys. I have met. Yes, I have met a famous person. I have worked at. Yeah. Very good. 3 different companies. Very good. Yeah. Fantastic. So very good to keep those in mind. Okay. So hopefully this will load. Oh, it might be gone. I'll get it back. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I will return with the slides now in a moment. I don't know why. It always seems to do that with these types of activities. It always seems to, with just those different things. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. So we're back. Yeah, so I have worked at 3 different companies. I have played the guitar for 5 years, and I have always loved swimming in the ocean. Fantastic, guys. Really, really good work there. So yeah, what do these phrases mean? These phrases, I have taken up, I have seen the, I have been to, I have met, I have worked at, I have played, I have always loved. So here we're using the present perfect, right? We're using the present perfect to describe things that happened in the past. Okay? So, I have taken up a new hobby. What does that mean? That means that you started a new hobby in the past and you continue to do that hobby now, but we don't know when you started it in the past. So again, remember, present perfect is for in the past, but not a specific time. All right. I've seen the Eiffel Tower, right? That just means in all of my life, right? In all of my life, I have seen the Eiffel Tower. Okay, again, don't know when, right? Very good, Christina. Yes, experiences, fantastic. So experiences, or for something that started in the past and continues now. Like I have played the guitar for 5 years. So this phrase is for something that started in the past and it continues now. Okay. Again, we don't know when it started unless we use since. Now, if we use the phrase since I have played the guitar for 5 years or I have played the guitar since 2015, this is how we would phrase it. Okay. So it's an important thing to remember those two reasons why we use the present perfect. All right, because this is the difference between the present perfect and the past simple, and it's something that I find a lot of people make the mistake on, but it's a mistake that can be so very easily fixed. Okay. Excellent, Vanessa. Fantastic. I've been in Milan for 5 years. Exactly. Okay. It started in the past and it continues now. So we say, I've been in Milan for 5 years. All right. Then we have something like, you could say, I have lived in Milan for 5 years as well. This is also a possibility. You can also say that if you want to. All right. So let's move on. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. That way we can answer them. Okay. Right. So we've kind of answered these questions already. So what tense is used to talk about a finished action in the past? And what tense is used to talk about an action that started in the past and is still happening, or an action that happened at an unspecified time in the past? Okay. If you don't know by now, I'll be very, very disappointed. So we have what tense is used to talk about a finished action in the past? This is, of course, the past simple. What tense is used to talk about an action that started in the past and is still happening, or an action that happened at an unspecified time in the past? This is the present perfect. So here's an example. I've lived in Ireland for most of my life. I went to university in Spain for a year. I wanted to experience a different way of life. So in this example, this person lives in Ireland still. Okay. Oh, very good, guys. Yes, past simple for the first one. Nice. I'm sorry, the chat, there is a little bit of a delay between when you guys type and when I receive the messages. So I'm sorry if I go too far ahead. So let's just have a look at this example here, guys. I've lived in Ireland for most of my life. Okay, I've lived in Ireland for most of my life. That means that for most of his life, he lived in Ireland. Okay, maybe a part of his life he lived somewhere else. And as you can see here, he said, I went to university in Spain for a year. So that is the part of his life that he did not live in Ireland. Okay, I wanted to experience a different way of life. Okay, so when we talk about this, and I think Christina, you mentioned it earlier, you moved to Milan 14 years ago, was it, or 15 years ago? So you can say I have lived in Italy for, or sorry, Rome, not Milan. My God, my apologies. I have lived in Rome for 15 years, 14 years. Okay, as Vanessa said there, I've been in Milan for 5 years. Okay. So, anyone have any questions? All right. So when it comes to using these guys, it's very important to just know the differences between them. All right. So maybe we could do some examples, perhaps. Right. Could do some examples. We'll see. Hold on till I see if we can get some examples here. The next page, maybe we'll have some. Okay, here we go. All right. So here are some examples here, guys. The present perfect is used to talk about experiences which don't have a specified time in the past, as we said before. I've been to Shanghai before. Say, I've been to Shanghai once in my life. Or simply, I've been to Shanghai. I've been to Shanghai, right? To, remember to use the preposition to in this example. Why? Because to is for movement. I've been to Shanghai before. Okay, this means that you visited Shanghai and then you returned. All right, then we have the next example. If it is time specific, use the past simple. All right, for example, I went to Shanghai last year. And then also we use the present perfect for things that started in the past and are still true in the present. I have loved going to big cities in my whole life. Okay, so for all of my life up to now, I have loved going to these big cities. I don't know who does not love that. It's a very, very nice experience. All right, so maybe can you guys give me an example of something that you have done in your life, something that you did at a specific time, and something that you started in the past and has continued to now? So I want 3 different sentences. So one is present perfect for just an experience, right? I want one of those. Experience. Second one, we want a past simple. Finished action. Okay, and the third one for present perfect. Started in the past and continues now. Okay, so 3 sentences. One that's an experience, one that's a finished action, and one that was something that started in the past and continues to now. So I could say, right, let's see. I have worked with Italian people and with non-native speakers for 3 years now. So I have worked with Italian people for 3 years now. Number 2, I went to New York 2 years ago. And number 3, I have well, I guess the number 1 I haven't done. I have performed on stage. So that was for my number 1, not for number 3. Okay, so Vanessa, I've been in London. So remember, Vanessa, when do we use in? In, the preposition, is used for position. Okay, and so when we want to talk about your position, like we said, I've been in Milan, right? That's your current position now. But if you want to say I've been, like you visited London, I'm assuming that this means you visited London. Okay, we would use what Christina has actually said here. So Christina, I've been to London one time and it was a wonderful experience. Okay, This is an excellent. So just be careful, Vanessa. We use the preposition to and not in this example, because we need to specify that it's movement and it's not position. There you go. Right. Excellent. I worked for an important company last year. Very good. So that's your past simple. I worked for an important company last year. Christina, yeah. I've been learning English for years. So actually, very good. That one, you would say that's the present perfect continuous. So that's an excellent use. I've been learning English for years. Excellent. Well done. Good use of that. So again, yeah. So Sarah, sorry. Just be careful of the preposition again. So I've made a virtual tour in Brera. It's not quite right. We'd say I've made a virtual tour to Brera. Okay, unless were you in Brera when you did the virtual tour, or was it like from your computer you went to Brera? So this is the important thing. You need to decide what context it is, because if you from at Brera, okay. Christina, very good. I finished reading a book last week. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if Sarah, if it is from your PC, we would say to. Okay. So I've made a virtual tour to Brera, because again, even though you're at home, even though you're like positioned at home, you're still moving technically. And so, yeah, it's important to say I've made a virtual tour to Brera. Yeah, because the movement is still there, even if it is on the computer. Okay, but well done, nice. That's really cool. A virtual tour. Is there a website, or is it a kind of something that you can look up online? Sounds really nice. Sounds really interesting. Vanessa, very good. Yes. So, as we said before, I've lived in Milan since 2015. Excellent. So yeah, guys, this is really, really good. So knowing like the prepositions as well, very, very important. Yeah. At is like for a specific location. So I am at home. Okay. He is at the supermarket. Um, she is in Milan. This is for your current position. Okay. Or for just talking about position in general. So very, very important to remember that if you're talking about movement or travel, we use the preposition to. Okay. To is the preposition for travel, for movement all the time. All right. So very, very good, guys. That's the present perfect versus the past simple. Now let's have a look at the next part here. Okay, so we've done this already. She has been to Tokyo, we studied, and I have lived in Toronto. So here we go. Number one, she has been to Tokyo is the present perfect, the action that happened at an unspecified time in the past. We studied architecture in Istanbul in 2016, and I have lived in Toronto my entire life. So you could say I've lived in Toronto for my entire life as well, is correct. It's probably better to use for in that case. Oh, wow. So a Zoom meeting. That's really cool. So what, the Zoom meeting, and you guys did like a virtual tour of Brera. Was there a tour guide? I think maybe was there a tour guide like in the Zoom meeting with you, and you guys did the tour with the guide? That's really cool. That's a great idea to do that. Maybe I should do that with Ireland. Huh. It's a good idea. Actually, I might do that with Ireland. I might just do a virtual tour of Ireland with some students. Let me know. Would you be interested in that? Might do that. We'll see. Very good. Okay. So here now, guys, this is an activity where we need to choose. We need to select what is the best option, which is the correct option for the sentence. Is it present perfect or past simple? So I'll let you have a minute to type in there if it's present perfect or past simple. Okay. So let me know. Number one, Margaret, a new dish last week. Tim, the new iPhone yet. Lisa, to Hawaii. Right. Last month, a presentation in front of 500 people. They, an 8 a.m. chemistry class in their first year of university. They would never do that now in their third year. And then finally, Coldplay in concert. They are my favorite band. Okay, so we have the first one there. Yes, very good, guys. Margaret cooked a new dish last week. So we know that this is past simple. Why? Because last week is the finished time phrase. And so we use last week, we use cooked past simple. Very good. What about number two? Excellent. Yes, Christina. Yeah, Tim has not bought the new iPhone yet. So yet is another indicator that we use the present simple. Okay, yet and already. So we use present perfect with already and yet. Okay. Number three, Christina, you're on a roll here. Fantastic. Yes. Lisa has never been to Hawaii. Excellent. Very, very good. Lisa has never been to Hawaii. So yes, guys, see how in this example we use the preposition to. So let's use this one. Okay. Last month. Oh, Christina's on it again. Fantastic. Clearly all of these years of learning English are doing you very good, Christina. You're doing very well. I gave a presentation in front of 500 people. So yeah, this is actually an interesting point to make, guys. The verb that we use for a presentation is give. So to give a presentation is what we would say. Number five, they took an 8 a.m. chemistry class in their first year of university. They would never do that now in their third year, which is true. God, you never do that. You do that in the early parts of your university, not in the later parts. You want to give yourself as much time as possible. Number six, then. What do we think for number six? Coldplay in concerts. They are my favorite band. So is this past simple or present perfect? Not at all, Christina. Not at all. I have to compliment good work. It's really good. Nice to see. So the last one. Excellent. Very good, Vanessa. Nice. Have you ever seen Coldplay in concert? Excellent. So yeah, we want to say in all of your life, have you seen them? So that's why we're using the present perfect here. Guys, that's great work. Really, really well done today. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the webinar now. But I guess do you have any questions? Is there anything that you'd like me to answer? Perhaps there's some questions you guys have. If so, please type them in now. If not, then guys, it was fantastic having you this evening. Thank you so much. I know 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is not a very traditionally nice time to spend your time learning English, but maybe I suppose with the situation now, it's all we can do. But thank you, and I hope you enjoyed. Oh, here we go, a question. So Sarah wants to know, if I speak now about something finished I've done this afternoon, should I use past simple or present perfect? So this depends on whether you use so this is a good question, Sarah. Oh, that's the wrong one. So good question. If I speak now about something finished, if you want to say this afternoon, if you say this afternoon, if you mention the time phrase, then use the past simple. If you do not, then maybe you should use the present perfect with already. So for example, I've already had coffee today. I have already had coffee today. This is something that you had this afternoon, but you're using the present perfect because you want to say already. Okay. So if you use a fixed time or a finished time like this afternoon, obviously because now it's the evening time, you will say, I made dinner this afternoon. I had a coffee. I had lunch this afternoon. I had a lesson in English this afternoon. But apart from that, you should use the past simple anyway. But if you want to use the present perfect, use it with already. All right, guys. Thank you. So thank you, Christina, Vanessa, Sarah, all of you guys for getting involved. Thank you to everybody else who's watching. And I guess have a lovely evening. And hopefully you guys all stay safe. We'll see you back in school soon. Bye, guys.